Welcome back to part 6 of our Altered Book series. Today, again, I'm setting our green book aside so that we can work in the pink. The green is more sparse, less decorated, less frilly, and the pink is all of the things. At this point, usually I will grab some tissue paper if I have it. You can use any kind of tissue for this. You can use the Tim Holtz or Dina Wakley sheets. I have a few different colors of pink here, and I'm just going to cut a section. Set this aside. Now, if you're really into it, you can definitely get out your collage medium or your PVA in water or your Mod Podge and do this to a whole bunch of pages. For this project, I'm just going to be taking sections of this. I'm going to rip them. Oh, look, there's two. Oh, there's 3 different pink colors. That's fun. Putting these together, this looks more purple than pink, but maybe it's because I have the blue background. Anyway, I'm going to tear some pieces and I'm just gonna glue them in with a glue stick. So it's not really collage. I'm not really going over it a number of times with medium. I'm just gonna glue some in for now, and then later on we can make changes or add a covering like a sealer or Mod Podge or something else later. The thing about working this way is that if you're not going to employ a heat tool to help your things dry quicker, then it takes a while. Of those. They don't have to be strips like this. You can rip them however you want. If you wanted to die cut them or cut them with scissors, that's fine too. It's just another opportunity to use what you've got to kind of express yourself in your project. All right, now we're just gonna grab and go. Grab and go. This is another part of this process where we may work on this and it may end up being covered up. Let's see here. So that's it for tissue paper. You can use any kind of specialty paper in here too. Your handmade paper, mulberry paper, the cicada wing paper that's not really made out of cicadas. Otherwise, I am going to now move on to paste. And you can use any kind of medium. It's fun to use a translucent medium like a gloss medium to just highlight words or highlight different pictures and things like that. But for this book, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to do a few pages in this Nouveau Glacier paste. Of course, it's in pink. Doesn't really, I don't see a color name on here, but Frosted Petal. And I'm going to do a few pages. The thing about this is that I like these usually to dry naturally, which means that I will have to come back a few times to finish this filming. I have two stencils that I'm using today. One is dots and another is just this wispy kind of, I'm not sure what that is, what you would call that. But I'm going to use both of them in the book. And I may do a bunch of pages, but I may just do a few. It just really is a feel. So let's start here. I thought better about it. I want to do something on this side first. And after I get to the second one, you'll see why. Let's do this here. So I'm going to use the paste through this stencil here. Not the whole stencil, just a little bit. That's what the paste looks like. Oop. That's what the lid of the paste looks like. Here we go. And it's very fluffy. I don't know if I need that much. Just gonna hold down the book and the paste at the same time. A little bit over here, a little bit over here, some down here. Trying to mostly avoid the image that's on the page already. Pull it up. Perfect. And now I'm going to find another page, which I think is this page. Let's see, maybe it's this page. Here. Okay, so I've got a pretty heavy duty clamp, but this is one of the dollar store biggies. Dollar Tree. Gonna clamp it like this, put it at an angle so it's angled down and leaning on the table, and it holds up our pages, and then I use another one on this side to do the same thing. That way I can work in two sections and then let it sit and dry. So let's adjust so you can see better. And it's the same thing. right. And then I'll be back in a little bit after these dry to do that again. So these are both dry. Here is that I really am happy with the decision to use this particular stencil. I have quite a few stencils, but this with the light pink, I don't even know if you can tell that it's pink on the screen, but it looks pretty fabulous with this bird, and the pattern kind of shows some movement, so I like that. And then this one over the tissue is really fun. And let's find a couple more pages to do. Ooh, what if I did this page? This page has all the things. So I'm going to do this page. Wait, jumping the gun. I don't know if that's is that a term that I should use? Jump the gun? Oh, I see. Can I do it this way? Oh, this one's coming up a little bit. I guess I'll have to do a washi check at the end. I really thought when I was putting this down that it would be pretty solid, but it is washi tape. So I even made it more crooked. That's fine. Where am I? So I am going to put dots here. What about this one? Let's see. I like this one too, to have all the things on it. Yep, okay. Same stencil paste. You could change the paste for your pages, of course. And I know this might, it might seem like a lot to have nine parts. Really, the last part is just the final flip through, but it may feel like too many parts. But really, my thing is that slow and steady wins the race. And I just do little pieces at a time when I can fit them in. You know how we all are stealing time for crafting. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use my clips. Of course, you can grab your heat tool and heat that if you want to keep going. But this is more my process here. And let's see. This one over here. It would be, I'm trying not to buy too many pastes that are already colored. I want to get into the habit of buying one like modeling paste and adding, you know, color and mica and whatever to it so that I don't have, I don't know, from what I'm buying perspective, right? From an overconsumption perspective, but also an efficiency and a how much room do you have perspective. So let's see. Oh, but sorry, I went all over the place. So 9 parts might seem like a lot, but I just do a little bit at a time for most of my projects. I don't usually sit down and make an entire junk journal. I sit down and I, you know, I make some pockets, or I flip through signature pages, or, you know, some days I'm just doing watercolor for inserts or ephemera that are going to go into another project. And I wanted to do this in many parts so that there would be little chunks that we could kind of bite off as we go to learn the different pieces. And also, you know how they teach you that if you sleep on information instead of cramming everything right before the test, that it sticks in your brain. So these are really awesome. So I didn't really intend to only put paste over the tissue, but I really like the everything of this kind of paste, paint, tissue look. So I am going to let this dry and then I will be back. Okay, so I am back. And I jumped ahead just a little bit. I thought I had turned on the camera for the last bit of pasting, but I did not. So let's go back and show you what I have. So here's the big one on the pocket. So more flourishy one. Let's see if we can get some better light on there. It is just a blush pink that is kind of metallic. And so I used the one paste throughout the whole, well, not throughout the whole book, on all of the pages of the book that I pasted. I used the same paste. This one is paint in the background with some of the tissue in the paste. Like how that came out. And this one I like a lot. This is just a back cover. I tried to keep the text here showing for the most part. And there was one other one. Here we go. This, where it looks like, kind of like it could be music notes. And this one here, where it is giving the look of accentuating some sort of movement. So that's it. That's it for tissue texture and paste texture. And I will be back in a few days to show you part 7, which is something even more exciting. Thanks for watching this one.